Well, it's been 12 years since we first released the Bagot for LitterMaid litter boxes, and now I'm here to present you with our new Bagot 3G system, which is intended for LitterMaid's new 3rd edition litter boxes. Personally, I like the new litter boxes. They are more reliable when raking than the last edition. The only pet peeves I have with it are first that there's a 20-minute recycle time, which if you have 5 cats, gives them more time to add in their own clumps to what's already there. The other pet peeve I have is that the rake pushes up the lid to an almost upright position, which if it's depositing a large clump will then cause the lid to fully open. So on this model, you either need to use the ramp that's included or a new product we came out with called Lid Stopper that will prevent the lid from fully opening. So let me introduce you to the components in the Bagot system. There are 2 main components. The first is the Bagot itself. This is the ring that sits in the receptacle. It's perfectly molded to fit in, and that's what holds open a plastic bag and catches the waste, so you don't have to keep replacing receptacles. And that pairs with the the permalid, which is a permanent lid that also seats well into the Bagot, so that'll keep the lid closed at all times and keep the odor out. So those products, the Bagot and the permalid, we sell as a combo, and that's what you would need to stop having to replace receptacles. Then optional items that we have, there's a litter guard. So this would sit on top of the lid, and if your cat is an aggressive digger or likes to do their business on the lid, that will help prevent that from happening. If you order that product, we also give you a free lid stopper, and that's the item that I was indicating. If you don't want to use a ramp that comes with the litter box, this will keep the lid from fully extending. And the final item is something that we have made for us. It's a plastic bag holder with a feline theme to the fabric. Those are handcrafted. So you can get those items at our website, www.catchit.com, spelled KATCH-IT. Okay, so let's walk you through how you set up your litter box with the Bagot system. The first thing you want to do is make sure that the whole receptacle area is empty. You take your permalid. If you notice, there's a circular hole on it. That's going to line up with the rectangular hole in the lid. So the easiest way I found is just fully open it, slide this into the track all the way, and you're done. Okay, there's no tools required for assembly, and you will see the circular hole from the permalid through the rectangular hole in the lid. Next, you want to insert a clean receptacle. This should be the last receptacle you'll ever need. So just lifting up the lid slightly to let it in. This is very much like you do if you weren't using the Bagot system. You slide it all the way in, make sure that the leading edge of the receptacle is fully seated under the lip on the litter pan, so that way litter will go into the receptacle without getting stuck. Next, you want to take your Bagot And you'll need a plastic bag, one without holes in it. And you put the plastic bag through the middle of the baguette and then wrap it around the edges. Okay. After doing this several days, you'll become an expert and it will go more smoothly than it's going for me. One thing I didn't point out, on the baguette there are arrows. The arrows indicate that it should point towards the rake. That will make sure that the baguette is oriented to fit into the receptacle fully. So I grab up the excess plastic, slide it in, and just get some of the air out of here. And as you close it, the baguette will seat fully. There is a tiny little edge here that's going to catch a little bit of litter, but I'll show you when you go to empty it how to prevent that. So it's closed now. You would either put your ramp on or use the lid stopper, or take a chance that when litter is raked into the baguette, no big clumps come and knock it open. Okay, so next we're going to show you how to empty it. When it's time to empty the litter box, you'll need to remove the ramp, or the lid stopper can be swung into a position. What I found helps any of the litter that's trapped on this leading edge is if you take the baguette with the plastic bag and slide it towards the litter pan. So that will get the litter into the pan instead of inside the receptacle. But as you've seen, maybe once a month or every other month, you can slide the receptacle out and empty any stray litter in the bottom. As well, if you don't like how dirty the permalid's getting, you can slide that out and wash it off its plastic. So what you're doing is you're going to take your plastic bag, tie it up, then take the baguette and you get a new plastic bag, slide it in, and what you'll find is as you do this, you'll probably get to a point where it takes about a minute to empty and reseat your litter box and put your ramp back on. Okay, so that's all there is to it. If you ordered the litter guard to keep your aggressive diggers from getting litter outside the box or doing their business on the lid, it will come with the following items: the litter guard itself, an optional lid stopper, and a plastic screw and nut. Okay, you want to remove the ramp if it's currently attached. Take the litter guard and place the round hole on top of the rectangular hole, which you'll then also be able to see through to the round hole in the permalid. If you're not using the lid stopper, then you take the screw, you have it pointed downwards, and you screw it into the nut. Okay. Get that tight. You can reattach the ramp. And then when the rake comes through, it lifts the lid with the litter guard and otherwise operates as normal. Now, if you don't like using the ramp, and you still want to prevent the lid from flying fully open, Instead of inserting the screw from the top down, you insert it from the bottom up. And before placing the nut on it, you place the lid stopper. And now when you tighten it, the lid stopper can swing fully out, which is what you would want. So then when the rake comes through, the lid stopper keeps the lid from fully opening. When you want to empty the litter box, just swing this out of the way and you can get at your baggot. And that's it.